House in Burlington County sending multiple firefighters to the hospital. Our Eddie Kadam reports from West Hampton.
The chief here is saying thankfully the injuries to the firefighters here were minor and there were no other injuries reported, although there was several people who were displaced by tonight's fire. First responders quickly arrived to a fire where they say children were possibly inside.
It was quickly determined that the children were not home. While that was all happening, a second house next door started to catch on fire along with a third house. Because of the heat and the amount of fire and 3 houses being on fire, it ended up being a 4-alarm fire.
Chief Barnsworth says the fire started at this corner home and quickly spread to 2 other houses. The heat added to the already difficult task of stopping the fire from spreading to even more homes. And the chief says 3 firefighters were transported to the hospital with minor injuries and that the first responders did a great job working together to save lives.
When the police arrived, they started to evacuate the neighboring houses when they started to see that the houses next door were starting to ignite. So the police department did a great job and got the neighbors out and alerted everybody that needed to know to get out safely.
Several neighbors say they heard what sounded like 2 explosions.
As the explosion happened, it was backed up with a second explosion minutes later, and the house was engulfed in flames.
Bill Barnett is good friends with the homeowner. He says the family was on their way to the shore and they haven't found their pet cat.
They're upset about that because they haven't found the one cat. They have a cat there, but cats have a way of kind of finding the shelter and then they appear a couple days later, so hopefully that's the case.
The American Red Cross was out to help the families and the mayor came by to check on them.
The houses are somewhat close together and everyone is concerned. And it's a tight-knit community. Like, we'll try to, as a community, we'll come to help them rebuild, see what we can do.
No word yet on the cause of the fire as the fire marshal is investigating. In West Hampton, Eddie Kadam, Fox 29 News.